What's up? It's Marv of the Miles Ahead podcast. And for today, I'm going to be giving a short take, and it's going to be about the Lakers beating the Golden State Warriors. So I'm going to be just giving my perspective on this and my thoughts on Steph Curry versus LeBron overall as a whole. So let's dive into it. But first, I want you guys to hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the channel so you support. I have about 60 plus episodes on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple, and about 20 plus episodes on YouTube. So let's dive into it. So the reasons why the Lakers won this series is because of Anthony Davis. He played great all series long. I'll say that LeBron, he was good for the most part. And it was actually the other players, the role players who stepped up in this series. You got to give it to Austin Reeves. You got to give it up to D'Angelo Russell. And you also got to give it up to the refs. I mean, the refs, they definitely did do their thing, but it was also the Lakers defense. They also stepped up as well as Darvin Ham. He has some very good defensive schemes. You know, at first he had Vanderbilt on Steph. That worked out a little bit. And then he had Austin Reeves, and then he had AD at certain points. So it was a whole lot of players who were definitely stepping up on this team, and they did the thing to get this victory. So, as far as the Warriors, on the other hand, the reason why they lost the series is because of too much drama. I would also say Draymond Green, he was a double agent. LeBron James, he definitely did play great gamesmanship. Okay. I mean, he was playing Draymond like a violin. And in the end, this definitely does help LeBron James' legacy more than it will help Draymond Green's legacy. And we all saw at the end of the game, Draymond Green, he was embracing LeBron James for so long to the point where Shannon Sharp would get jealous. That's how bad it was. But as far as the Warriors, this roster, it was not the same level of team as it was last year. Okay. This is probably the weakest version of the Golden State Warriors. Now, I definitely believe that the Warriors will definitely have a shot at winning this series because of the coaching ability of Steve Kerr. But he got outcoached by Darvin Ham. He did. And I also believe that Steve Kerr, I mean, he was dealing with a lot too in terms of having to deal with Jordan Poole and his shenanigans, just him turning the ball over, him always trying to take the most electrifying three or the most electrifying shot or whatever it may be, him always trying to look smooth. And then it obviously didn't work. And then he also did not want to develop the young guys in the regular season by playing Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody. I mean, we didn't see the veteran ability of Moses Moody until the playoffs started. And he could play. I mean, he's very poised with his game, plays good defense, and he makes a lot of hustle plays happen. So, and as for Gary Payton II, I mean, he didn't start coming on until later in the season. And in this series, when he was needed the most, Steve Kerr, he did not play him with the proper amount of minutes for them to be able to overcome LeBron James and Anthony Davis and the other role players. So And then on top of that, Draymond Green in the fourth quarter of last game, in game 6, he basically sat out the whole fourth quarter, just leaving Steph out there. Klay Thompson was horrific throughout the whole series. Like I said in the previous short take, you cannot be out here just dedicating games and series to anybody. Okay, because then the next thing you know, you just put a high expectation on yourself, and the next thing you know, you play not as good as you expected to play. Instead of you just playing within yourself, he was playing for somebody else, and he ended up playing terrible. I mean, in the last game, he shot 3 for 19. 3 for 19. And it's clear that Klay Thompson has regressed in terms of defense, even just with him being alert on defense consistently. I mean, I saw Rui Hachimura just sneak behind and get a cut to the basket for a 3-point play. Whose fault is that? That's Klay Thompson. Okay. Klay Thompson, he thinks that because he's won 4 championships, that basically there's no room for improvement. And that's the arrogance that I thought that would actually haunt the Warriors from winning this series. Now, Steph, he did everything that he could do to try to get this victory. He did. I mean, he passed, rebound, and he scored. Now, it may not have been his most efficient series, but you could definitely tell that he was trying to get the win. When it came to everybody else as a collective, I just wasn't seeing it. When it came to, the others, from Jordan Poole, from Draymond Green. Draymond Green, I mean, he was out here helping up Anthony Davis, forgetting about the fact that he's at war. This is a war, team versus team. All right. I can understand if after the game, you want to have a drink with Anthony Davis or LeBron James and basically, show love towards your NBA brother. To me, I just didn't think that Draymond Green embraced any of the natural team competitiveness. I mean, we saw it when his head coach from Michigan State was there. But as soon as he was gone, he played horrific. I mean, he was bad defensively, letting everybody get under his skin. He had 5 fouls. I mean, he was out there arguing with Dennis Schroeder. It's clear that Draymond Green had 2 different loyalties, one to LeBron James and the other to the Warriors. And the thing is that LeBron James, he prevailed. Okay? He prevailed. And he was able to get past the Warriors. Like I said, this was not the best version of the Warriors at all. If he wins this championship, a better case can be made that he is the best player of this generation. Okay, not Steph. A better case could be made. So as far as LeBron James, like I said, like he did his thing in terms of, infiltrating the Warriors as a whole and being able to just play within himself, I definitely was aware that he definitely was not great defensively. He definitely was playing a lot of free safety like he normally has been. And he was able to get away with that. Andrew Wiggins, he definitely did not attack LeBron James enough and tried to get him to use all of his energy trying to defend. And he did that in game 5, but in game 6, I definitely understand the trepidation from Andrew Wiggins because of his health situation. I'm aware that he definitely did have issues with his ribs. So you kind of have to give him a mulligan for that. But this is kind of on Steve Kerr. It's also on the front office, and it's also on Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and I would definitely say it does have to do with Steph as well. Okay, Steph, he's a great player, and as far as the last game and game 4, what Steph should have been doing in order for him to catch a rhythm was to shoot mid-range jump shots. Okay, like I definitely understand that. He takes threes, and you know he does it all in terms of the handles and the pick and roll and stuff like that. But when it comes to scoring, I think that a way balanced version of his game would have been for him to take a few more mid-range jump shots, just like he did in game 5. That definitely would have helped in game 6. He took far too many threes, and I do feel like that's what cost him. Now his inside game was great, but as far as the outside game, it wasn't great. He was 4 for 14. Okay, like I said, Steph, he did everything in his power to try to get his victory, but he came up short due to some of his shot selection. I think that he takes too many threes. I definitely understand that he is the greatest shooter ever, but sometimes you don't have to take that many threes. So I think that that's also what cost them. And as for everything else, I mean, the defense was good on the Lakers' part. Now let's get into the malarkey. The refs played a huge part in the reason why the Warriors lost the series. The Lakers, they were last in yards per game in the playoffs. This is a fact. The Warriors, they scored more points in the paint. They actually attempted more shots in the paint than the Lakers did. The Lakers, they were able to get away with flopping from Dennis Schroeder and Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker at times. And the refs, they were in favor of the Lakers. When the free throw disparity was closer in games 5 and in game 3, the Warriors, they won in a blowout fashion. It's just the facts. Now, when it wasn't in great disparity, like last night, the Lakers, they shot 42 free throws to 14. The Warriors, they got blown out. Because you're stopping the flow of basketball. each time. It's stopping the flow of basketball. And even in the other game, in game 4, where the Lakers won, they shot 37 free throws to 6 by the third quarter. In game 1, the Lakers had shot 29 free throws to 6. Now, I'm aware that the Lakers, they were definitely number one in terms of getting to the free throw line, and the Warriors were dead last. I'm aware of that. But the reason why the Lakers were number one in terms of getting to the free throw line was because of after the soap opera that LeBron James had put everybody on notice about the foul that Jason Tatum had did to him at the end of the game, where LeBron James had completely lost his mind, putting on an Oscar-worthy / Emmy-worthy performance. After that, the refs shot up the Lakers' free throws to such a high disparity it wasn't even close for the next 3 months. And now it's working in the playoffs. They did the same thing to the Memphis Grizzlies. So now for the Warriors, on the other hand, Steph, for whatever reason, he doesn't get calls. He averages about 5 free throws per game. Now, for anybody who watches basketball and knows basketball, they know for a fact that Steph does not just shoot threes. Okay? He goes to the rim. He shoots mid-range jump shots. Although he did not really do it that much in this series, he does whatever he can. He's playing off ball. He's doing on ball. Now, Steph, he gets held a whole lot in games, and the refs, they don't call it. Because you want to know why? He's a 90+% free throw shooter. Now, they will call a foul on Draymond Green or Looney. You want to know why? Because they are 70 to 67% free throw shooters. They're not efficient from the line. When it comes to Steph, he's efficient from the line. Klay Thompson doesn't get the calls either. Now, he's definitely not going to the rim as much as Steph does because he's more so a catch and shoot level player. But he's not getting any calls even if he goes to the rim anyways. Jordan Poole, he doesn't get any calls. And he's an 85% free throw shooter. Those are the facts. So that's what happened in this series. So the last thing I'm going to dive into is basically, did LeBron James end the Warriors dynasty? In my opinion, no, I don't believe that LeBron James ended the Warriors dynasty. The Warriors, they ended it themselves. Okay? In game 6, they did not come to compete. The only person who came to compete was Steph. And Gary Payton. And also Moses Moody. But as far as everybody else, Dante DiVincenzo was good too. But as far as everybody else, When it came to offense and defense, nobody else came to compete. Okay, it was a lot of drama throughout the whole season, and basically it was too good to be true for the Warriors to end up winning a championship this year, going back to back. I mean, it was possible for the series, but due to the refs and also the Warriors just playing bad as a whole, having bad turnovers, and all those other things. Plus, then on top of that, it's certain guys on this team who are dwindling when it comes to their athleticism, when it comes to Klay Thompson, and when it comes to Draymond Green playing both sides of the fence. And also his athleticism is regressing as well. So that's the reason why the Warriors ended it themselves. Remember, the Lakers, they did not beat the best version of the Warriors at all. Okay, this is the weakest version of the Warriors possible. It is. Now, if they would have faced last year's team, I don't think that the Lakers would have won this series, even if the rest was on their side. Okay, but they wasn't facing last year's team. Klay Thompson's a year older. Draymond Green is a year older. And Andre Iguodala, he sat out most of the season and this series and the previous series due to injury. So the Warriors, for the most part, they kind of just imploded. That's just the facts. They imploded. So, in my opinion, does this, win necessarily enhance LeBron James' legacy to such a high level? No. But if he ends up winning the championship, it definitely does help. The fact that he did beat Steph, that still is a name that he beat. I'll definitely give him that for sure. Okay? It's a name he beat, a great player. All right, one of the best players of this generation. And it's arguable that he still is the best player in this generation because of the consistent winning on one team and Steph's level of impact for his team. So in the long run, the Warriors, they were really just a 6 seed, and they acted exactly like a 6 seed. They were 11-30 on the road, and their issues on the road definitely did catch up with them in Game 6. Okay, it wasn't just the refs; it was bad turnovers too, and it was also some bad fouls here and there, and it was just bad positioning, bad defending. So I'll definitely just say like this is still something on LeBron James's legacy, but it's not something that's huge until he potentially wins a championship. Okay. So that's just my thoughts on that. But as far as LeBron James versus Steph, when I hear people say that LeBron James versus Steph was never a rivalry, that's just pure ignorance. Okay. What people love to do is they like to just bring up the numbers that LeBron James was averaging against the Warriors. And they'll be like, compared to Steph, there's no way that this was a rivalry. That doesn't make any sense. Because Steph's style of play does not dictate the fact that he averages so much points, so much rebounds, so much assists. It doesn't. And plus, Steph, he plays within a system that's based around him, but he shares the basketball, which is why the Warriors normally average 30 plus assists per game. So when it comes to LeBron James, of course he's going to be averaging these gaudy stats because he plays in a heliocentric level of offense where everything is dependent on him. Okay? He's Galactus. He sucks everything out of his teammates. So that's what normally happens when it comes to LeBron James. Now, Anthony Davis, he's the reason why they won this series. With him stepping up defensively, with him also making key shots offensively. Okay, he played better than LeBron James did. He did. So that's just the facts. But as far as LeBron James versus Steph, what people always say is in 2015, it doesn't count. It's an asterisk. Last time I checked, Klay Thompson is not a superstar. Draymond Green is not a superstar. The superstar was Steph. It was mano a mano. LeBron James had the chance to go up 3-1 in 2015 in game 4. He lost in a bad fashion. LeBron James, he had more finals experience than anybody on the Warriors roster, including Steve Kerr when it comes to coaching, because this was actually Steve Kerr's first year coaching in 2015. It's just the facts. So Steph beat LeBron one time without the services of Kevin Durant. And don't say LeBron James was the best player in that series, because Steph was the best player in that series. He deserved the finals MVP. LeBron James, he had the gaudier numbers, but Steph's numbers contributed to winning. Everybody, they all want to say that, look at Jerry West, he got the finals MVP. But a lot of people don't know is the fact that Jerry West doesn't even like the fact that he even got that finals MVP. In fact, he actually believed that he didn't even deserve it. We know about the numbers that he averaged, 44 on the Celtics. But even he said that he did not contribute to winning. So he felt like he didn't deserve it. That's the facts. And the reason why they did not want to give the finals MVP to Bill Russell is because Bill Russell was the best black player in the NBA. Okay, even back then, the blacks, they were starting to take over the league during that time. So that's why they handed the finals MVP to Jerry West. And they also gave Jerry West the ability to be the logo for the league. He didn't deserve it. It should have been Bill Russell because he is the person who won the most. So basically, what the league did was slap Bill Russell in the face during that time. So, if anything, Bill Russell deserved that Finals MVP. And in 2015, Steph deserved the Finals MVP. People they gave Andre Iguodala the Finals MVP as an ode to LeBron, as in saying we can't give it to LeBron James because of the optics. Okay. But when it came to Andre Iguodala, we could pass it off to him because he guarded him. Well, to tell you the truth, that's not even all the way the case either. Okay. Draymond Green was doing a lot of the guarding during that time. Not only that, they were also doubling LeBron James as well during that time. So, yes, Andre Iguodala, he definitely did help, but he was not the main cog for why the Warriors won that series. So, Steph has a championship against LeBron James. In 2016, you could give that one to LeBron James. Okay, you could give it to him. All right. In 2017, where the talent was essentially even. Remember, the Cavs, they remember the Cavs, they lost only one game in the Eastern Conference for the playoffs. The Warriors, they lost 0 games. Okay. And let's not act like the Cavs were not talented. Remember, Klay Thompson is not a superstar. All this game 6, Klay, game 6, that. He's not that. Okay. It's facts. We have seen it in the finals. In fact, in 2016, Klay Thompson was a part of the reason why the Warriors lost too. Not just Steph, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, he was terrible. So was Harrison Barnes, and I'm not going to go down the whole list of people who were bad throughout the whole situation. Okay. Draymond Green in 2017 was not a superstar either. He was a star role player. So was Klay Thompson. Okay. And when it comes to Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, those were the two superstars. Okay. When it comes to Kyrie Irving, who basically was somebody to nullify Steph. Okay. Go back and forth with Steph in terms of the scoring output. And then you have LeBron James, superstar. So when the talent was even, the Warriors, they won that series in 5 games. But not every game was a blowout. It was close. I mean, I believe the first 2 games, it was close until the fourth quarter where the Warriors made their separation. So that's the facts right there. And then basically, when it comes to the bench on both sides, the Cavs and the Warriors, they both had an equal amount of talent. Don't say that Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala and David West and JaVale McGee and Nick Young, all of those guys are a starting five on a separate team. Because that's what I was hearing. Because at the end of the day, J.R. Smith is talented. Kyle Korver is talented. Okay? Tristan Thompson is talented. Richard Jefferson, talented. The difference between the Warriors in 2017 and the Cavs was the Cavs did not play a system. The Cavs, they were playing your turn, my turn basketball between LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Now let's move on to 2018. In 2018, I would say that it was more so Steph who deserved the Finals MVP more than Kevin Durant, because Steph, he averaged more points in the fourth quarter than Kevin Durant did. Okay? But let's get out of that, right? I'll say that in 2018, LeBron James, he was overmatched by the Warriors. I'll say that. So in 2023, where the Warriors are not at their best in terms of their talent and their roster, okay, you could give it to LeBron James, but in my opinion, I believe that this deserves to go more on Anthony Davis than it deserves to go on LeBron James in terms of the credit. Okay? It's obvious that the Lakers do not win this series without Anthony Davis. He was phenomenal. So I do think that, because LeBron James is, the guy and everybody looks to and stuff like that, that he's going to get the bulk of the credit. But don't say that this was not a rivalry between Steph and LeBron. Steph does not like LeBron like how Draymond likes LeBron. Steph wants to win. And guess what? And it took LeBron James using art of war level tactics to infiltrate the Warriors for him to get this series. Now, it worked, all right, to perfection. Okay? It worked to perfection. You got to give that to him. That was smart. All right? But as far as Steph versus LeBron, it's a rivalry. It's always been a rivalry, and that's the facts. Okay? Like I said, 2015 was manu a manu. 2016, LeBron James got that. 2017, Steph got that. Okay? Even roster and talent. The Cavs, they didn't play great system. 2018, LeBron James was outmatched. Okay? 2023, the Warriors, they were outmatched. They were outmatched. Okay? They were. So, but like I said, just because of LeBron James averages all these points, and puts up all these assists and all these rebounds, all these steals, all these blocks. Like I said, he plays in a heliocentric level offense. So that's it on my perspective on the Warriors, the Lakers, and also my perspective on the Steph versus LeBron James quote unquote rivalry, which I do believe it is. And also, let me just give a brief synopsis on where I think the Warriors can go from here. I think they need to get rid of Klay Thompson and also Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. So we'll talk about that next time. And that's it on this short take. And I will be dropping another one very soon. So be on the lookout.